So today we're gonna make a video of rating Hotline Miami masks. So let me just change this. See, I found this online, so sort of weird. Let's keep it as that. Okay. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna be rating masks today. I've been trying to gather all these masks, and I tested all of them, so kind of understanding how they work. But basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna rate every single mask here. So I'll rate the mask on how fun it is to use. Like, if the mask isn't fun at all, then that'll make it lose some points. So I'm also gonna be rating it on how useful it is. Like, if it actually helps you with the levels, that'll make it have a better score. If it doesn't, pretty useless mask. Gonna rate it down. And the last thing I'm gonna rate it. This sounds really similar to the last thing I just said, but the ability it has. Now I know I said how useful it is, but the ability is way different. So so let's start with the first mask. We got Richard. Okay, now with Richard, it's the first mask you get in the game, and right off the bat it has no abilities. Richard is basically, just a normal mask. It doesn't do anything good, doesn't do anything bad. After you get Tony, then it basically becomes useless because you can just use Tony. In my opinion, I think it has to go in either C or D, because honestly, it doesn't really help. So I'm just gonna say, I don't know. I'm just gonna put it in C, because if I'm being honest, it's not the worst mask, and that's not the best mask. So I'm just gonna put it there. The thing with Rasmus isn't really a mask you use often, because Rasmus is kind of more of a secret mask. So basically, it helps you find the pieces in the game. So let's just say you're a new player, right? You just got the game, and maybe you just finished the game actually, and you're looking for all the secrets. But think of it like this: after you get all the pieces using the Rasmus mask, because it does help you. It helps you find the pieces. It basically becomes useless because it's basically like any other mask. So besides the mechanic of helping you find the pieces, it's basically useless. It's basically the same as Richard. And so I'll probably put it in C. I don't know. Maybe I'll move Richard down to D, because Rasmus at least has a use. At least finding pieces. But besides that, it's basically the same as Richard. Now moving on to Tony. Now Tony is a very, let's just say, OP mask. That's what I'll say. Yeah, Tony is really good at taking out large crowds, because that's basically what you do in the game. One hit kill, that's crazy. If you pair Tony up with guns and stuff, it just becomes one of the best masks in the game. So just because of that, I honestly think Tony is an S tier. Okay, I do watch Hotline Miami videos, people playing, and most people use Tony because it's just like such a good mask. Unless you get bored of using Tony, it's basically the best mask in the game. It's also really useful, on basically every level. Tony is basically the best mask. Now moving on to Aubrey. Now what Aubrey does, it gives you extra guns. Well, it doesn't give you a gun, but it spawns more guns basically, which I think is, pretty useful if you think about it. Now, the only thing with Aubrey that's a little weird is that most enemies already have a lot of guns. There's no need to get more guns, because once you get a gun, you get more guns. Aubrey is basically just like any other mask, basically. The only difference is spawns more guns. But I don't know, I'll just rate it as C. Maybe the same as Rasmus, because it's just, I don't know. I'm moving on to Don Juan. Don Juan, you have doors, and you knock down the enemies. But the thing with Don Juan is that when you knock down a group of enemies with doors, they don't just get knocked down, they also die. You could just slam the door and basically all of them die, which is really good for like combos and stuff like that, I guess. It's not as good as you think it is. Now, it sounds really good when I explain it, because it says, oh, it can take out everybody. The fat enemies really mess us up because you can't knock them down with the door. Probably in the same tier as Aubrey and Rasmus. Otherwise, I don't know. That's just what I think, okay? It's pretty fun to use it sometimes. If you do get the combo and everything, it makes it fun. But overall, I don't know. I think it's pretty frustrating trying to make it work. Graham, I don't know how to say his name. Okay, Graham, the rabbit mask, basically makes you fast, right? And honestly, I think this mask is way better than Brand. Okay, there's a huge difference. Why? Mostly has to do with speed. Is that he has a good speed. He's not way too fast, and he's not slow. That's what I like about him. It's just a perfect speed for taking out enemies. I honestly think it's really useful for the maps where the enemies are far away, because you can honestly just take them out pretty fast. It's pretty fun to use, honestly, as well. So I'll put it in B tier because I honestly think it's way better than these ones. Not as good as Tony, but I'll say it's as good as the Rabbit one. Now we got Dennis. Now the thing with Dennis is, I just find it pretty weird because Dennis doesn't really have a use besides getting a knife. Well, he is pretty good at like the beginning of the level, but besides that, once you get a gun or something, he basically becomes useless. His mask is the same as Richard and everyone else's. So unless you're starting a level, you know, you need a good knife or something like that, I don't think he's that good. I honestly think he would be in the same tier as C. But yeah, I don't think he's any better than these guys, because honestly, there's nothing that makes him better than those ones. Okay, so I honestly think he would be in the same tier as C. But yeah, I don't think he's any better than these guys, because honestly, now the thing with George is, I have really weird.
Yeah. I think the little tiger is the best one.
This is my thought. I think the giraffe one is pretty bad, and the problem with the giraffe one is its ability is that you can see farther. But the problem is, like, most levels are too small to even like use it on. It's basically useless if you think about it, because most levels aren't even that big. So I don't know. I don't find this mask as useful as the others. I actually, in fact, put it at the same level as Richard, because he's not that good, if I'm being honest. He's not fun, he's not useful, and his ability kind of sucks. Alright, next one, we got Ted. Now the thing with Ted is, his ability is that dogs don't attack you. And I have to say, that is pretty useful, but there's another flaw to him as well, much like George. Okay? Now, a lot of the levels actually don't have that much dogs. Most of the levels have just the gangsters and the fat guys. So most of them don't have dogs. Let's just say you clear out the whole floor, right? Everyone's dead. You clear out the whole floor. Most of the time, the dogs, you kill the dogs. Like, I don't know if it's just a problem with me, but I end up killing the dogs on accident because I shoot. Because they still rush towards you. You clear the floor. You still have to kill the dogs. It's not like you can just leave them. So it basically has no use to it, you know? I don't think it's that good. I'd probably put it in C tier as well. Now we got Rufus. Now Rufus, I have a huge opinion with Rufus, okay? Rufus is just terrible. Horrible mask, okay? You might think it's good because it says survive one bullet or something. Like, I really don't understand. What's the point of surviving a bullet when most of the time you get shot more than once? And when you get shot by a shotgun, you're dead. Like, it doesn't even help you with that. When you get shot with a pistol, which most of the enemies don't even have pistols, I'd actually say it's even harder to try to make it work, because like most of the time you get killed before you can even, you know, get shot. Now we got Rami. Okay, Rami basically makes it so you get more ammo in the guns. Now the thing with Rami is, let's just say you got an assault rifle, right? Empty the whole clip. But the thing is, you get like 8 more bullets. Now that's really useful if you're like got a whole crowd chasing you or something like that. Same thing with shotgun. I'm pretty sure it gives you like 2 or 3 more bullets. I might be wrong. Especially on the maps like hard and heavy, I think it makes it very versatile. So I'd have to put that mask either B or A tier. But just for this, I think I'll put it on B tier, because I would say it has the same like usefulness as, you know, Graham. Now we got Willem. Willem, I hate this mask. This is really bad mask. Okay. Now the thing with Willem is it sounds a little bit confusing at first, but basically when you go up, walk to the enemies, right? You press space and you kill them. So it's basically called standing execution. I searched it up. But what it does is when you kill them, you also grab their weapon. So it basically makes it better. Like, makes it way faster to grab a weapon. But the thing is, most of the time, I don't even use standing executions. I tried using this on most of the levels, and I can't even find a single level where it actually helps me. I don't know, unless you're a god at using this mask, because especially with the timing, you have to time it very precisely, otherwise you won't get it. I'll just put it in C tier in my case. Now we got Peter. Okay? Peter is honestly a really good mask. He basically makes gunshots silent. So you basically have a silencer on you all the time. That's really useful for, you know, the rooms to have a lot of enemies, especially with hard and heavy. Basically all the levels to have, you know, fat guys, because the fat guys literally end your run. And you use Peter correctly, it's literally one of the best masks, because honestly, it makes taking out floors just way easier. Okay, it's fun to use. I honestly find it fun because I hate getting death charged by a whole gang of like enemies. Like I can't find a level that's actually bad. Okay, so we got Zach now. Okay, his ability makes it so you basically get a longer window on the combos. Okay, notice I think this mask is kind of like Rasmus, where once you like use it, like beat the whole game with it, it basically becomes useless because it's like one, like, you know, you use it like to beat the game, and then there's no purpose to it. But I actually think it's way better than Rasmus because it's honestly makes the game more fun. Okay, Rasmus I feel like it's kind of miserable. Like all you're doing is searching for the letters. Like search the entire map just to find it, and I have to Google it. So I didn't find that fun. The thing with Zach is that it actually makes it way better because you get more time, you know, to get combos. I have to put it probably in B tier or A tier. I don't know. It'd be somewhere between there. It's not an S tier, but it is pretty good. It's also really good for trying to get A pluses. Now we got probably actually the worst mask in the game, which is Oscar, besides Nigel. Okay? I don't think I even have to explain this one. All he does is make your game harder. He basically makes it so the game is dark. Okay? There's nothing good about it. Okay? I don't think I need an explanation for this. I'm just gonna put an F tier. Okay? Now Rick is pretty weird because I actually have no idea what Rick does. I have no idea. Okay? I even tried searching it up. Can't find an answer. I'm just gonna take a guess and say that it makes your gun, like the gunfire, well, for the shotgun especially, I think it makes it wider or something like that, or it makes you instantly kill enemies. That's just my guess. It's not really that good, you know, so I don't have to probably put it in C tiers. Some people are gonna be like, they're gonna be mad at this. First of all, this whole list is my opinion, right? I think Brandon sucks. Okay, Brandon just sucks because he's way too fast. Unless you're really like, you have like good reaction speed, it's really hard to use this mask. I think it's just way too fast to use. Especially when I'm like going at enemies, literally going to the enemies, they kill me before I can even swing. So like Brandon is really hard to use, but if you do use it correctly, kind of like Willem, he can be quite good. Brandon is probably the best mask for speedrunners, but if you're just playing the game normally, it's alright. I'll have to put it in B tier. Okay. Now we got Charlie. Okay. He's kind of like Aubrey. Instead of giving you more guns, he gives you more melee weapons. Charlie, I don't find that useful because honestly, he doesn't have that much uses. Now, sure, you can spawn more melee weapons, but I just find Aubrey more useful because guns, you have range, obviously, but melee weapons, you can just pick up a bat or something, and you got a melee weapon. A D. Okay, it's not as bad as these two. These are just horrible, but these ones, they're alright. Then we got Lois, okay? Lois, okay? The thing with Luis is that he basically makes it so you're hard to see. I'll say it's actually pretty useful for when you're using guns, because most of the time, they'll come running at you, but if you're far away, they won't see you as easily. Like, not even joking, I've tested this map, literally like just opening doors, and they literally can't see you. Like you could be just a few feet away, okay? But they won't see you. I find this mask actually pretty useful, probably between B tier and A tier, but I have put it in B tier because I think some players wouldn't find it that good. I think, oh, we got Phil. This mask does nothing, okay? It's basically just, you know, the same as Oscar. It doesn't do anything. I'll just put it in D tier because it's not as bad as these two. It's just alright. Now we got Nigel. We got Earl. And the thing with Earl is he's the same as Rufus, but he's a little bit better. I guess if you get shot a few times, then it's pretty useful, but I don't know. I just don't find it as useful as the other ones. So I have to put it probably in C tier. Okay. Now we got Jones, okay? Not much to explain about this mask either, okay? All it does is basically make it so there's more gore in the levels. Now, unless you like that, I don't think there's any use to using it, if I'm being honest, okay? It's probably on the same level as Richard and George, because if I'm being honest, it doesn't help at all. So, I have to put it probably in D tier. Carl, I don't know about this mask. It's probably like one of my favorite masks. I do like Carl, because I just think it's pretty unique, gives you a drill and everything. I really like using the mask, but the problem is, 1, it can't kill the fat guys. 2, it can't kill the dogs. And 3, it just takes too long to kill the enemies, okay? But like, I swear, every single level I try using it, I get like death charged by dogs, gangsters, everything, okay? It can't kill dogs, okay? Why it can't kill dogs? I have no idea, okay? You try swinging with a drill as a dog, it doesn't kill it. Which, I just can't understand, okay? Why can't, so just because of that, I'm gonna have to put it, which it kind of hurts me, but I'll put it in B tier, okay? I would love to put it in A tier, but it's just not that good, okay? Now the thing with Jake is, I really like Jake. You basically don't even have to use guns in all the levels. If you wanted to, you could just throw the objects. Literally, you could just like, if there's a stack of like weapons on the ground, you basically have a whole arsenal just to throw at your enemies, right? Which I find that pretty fun. I've heard some people don't like the Jake mask because it gets boring. It gets boring really fast. I don't know. I have to put this mask in F tier. Okay, now we got the final mask. We got Richter. Okay. Now, Richter, he isn't that bad, but I just find it kind of weird. This mask, it's kind of like Aubrey. First of all, I tried using this mask in Showdown, right? You know, the final level. And you can't even use it to kill the cats or nothing, okay? Well, cats, panthers, whatever. Okay, so it's basically useless on that map because you can't kill anything on that map. Other maps, you just grab any other weapon, you're good. But I don't understand why you would use Rig. I would understand if you probably spawn with machine gun, which I know Uzi is some machine gun, but like double machine guns, that'd probably make it way better. Probably, I'll put it in B tier, okay? It's not the worst one. I don't know if I should change any of these. Honestly, I think these are pretty good. The F tier, pretty accurate. D tier is pretty accurate. C tier is pretty accurate, I think. I don't know, unless I put this one here, because I know some people would think Brandon is pretty low tier.